Hey there, future movers and shakers. Did you know that by 2025, we're expecting to see the biggest shake-up in American migration patterns since the gold rush? That's right, folks. The map is changing, and today, we're diving into the top 10 cities that Americans are flocking to faster than you can say cross-country U-Haul. But before we jump into our countdown, let's talk about why 2025 is shaping up to be the year of the Great American Shuffle. Spoiler alert, it's not just about escaping your in-laws. First off, remote work isn't just a trend anymore, it's a way of life. In 2025, your office is wherever you open your laptop, be it a beach in Florida or a mountain cabin in Colorado. This freedom has people asking, if I can work from anywhere, why not live somewhere awesome? Secondly, the job market has pulled a magic trick, making some unexpected cities the new lands of opportunity. Who would have thought that the next Silicon Valley might be in the heart of the Midwest? Lastly, our priorities have shifted. It's not just about the size of your paycheck anymore, it's about the size of your backyard, the length of your commute or lack thereof, and whether you can afford to buy a house before you're eligible for Social Security. Now, we didn't just throw darts at a map to pick these cities, though that does sound like a fun Friday night. We've crunched the numbers on population growth, job opportunities, cost of living, and even the number of sunny days per year, because let's face it, weather matters. So without further ado, let's count down the top 10 cities that Americans are moving to in 2025. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. 10. Boise, Idaho. Boise's population is now 300,000 and growing faster than a potato in spring. Tech companies are arriving each day in numbers that would make your head spin if you tried to count them. The cost of living is 30% lower than Seattle, and there are 100% fewer Starbucks on every corner. Let's break down that cost of living, shall we? In Boise, you're looking at about $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center. Utilities will run you around $150 a month, and a meal out is about $15. Not too shabby, right? Now let's talk money. The average salary in Boise is sitting pretty at $65,000 a year. The minimum wage, it's $12.50 an hour as of 2025. And when it comes to taxes, Idaho has a progressive income tax ranging from 1.125% to 6.925%. There's also a 6% sales tax, but hey, at least there's no local sales tax on top of that. Why Boise? It's simple. Where else can you go mountain biking in the morning, code the next big app in the afternoon, and still afford to buy a house that doesn't require a magnifying glass to see? Boise is the tech hub that no one saw coming, but everyone's glad it did. 9. Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville has so many manufacturing jobs, it's enough to make Detroit jealous. The downtown is more hip than your grandpa's artificial one, and don't even get me started on the BBQ quality. It's off the charts. Cost of living in Greenville, it's like finding a designer outfit at a thrift store price. A one-bedroom in the city center will set you back about $100. Utilities hover around $140, and you can grab a nice meal out for about $14. The average salary in Greenville is a comfortable $60,000 a year. The minimum wage is still tied to the federal rate at $8.50 an hour, as of 2025. But don't let that fool you. Many jobs pay well above that. South Carolina has a graduated income tax from 0% to 7% and a 6% state sales tax. But here's the kicker. Greenville County adds another 1% on top of that. Still, with these prices, you'll have plenty left over for sweet tea. Greenville is proof that you can have your cornbread and eat it too. With a booming job market in both old-school manufacturing and new-age tech, this city is attracting everyone from startup founders to BBQ pitmasters. And the best part? You can afford to buy a house and still have money left over for sweet tea. 8. Overland Park, Kansas. Overland Park's family-friendly rating. It's off the charts. We're talking 11 out of 10. The school system is churning out more geniuses than a Mensa convention. And it's close enough to Kansas City for BBQ, but far enough to avoid the crowds. Let's talk numbers. A one-bedroom apartment in Overland Park will cost you around $1,000 a month. Utilities are reasonable at about $130, and a meal out is about $13. It's like the cost of living took a chill pill here. The average salary in Overland Park is a solid $70,000 a year. The minimum wage in Kansas is 11 miles an hour as of 2025. When it comes to taxes, Kansas has a graduated income tax rate from 3.1% to 5.7% and a state sales tax of 6.5%. Overland Park adds another 1.55% to that, but with these salaries you'll barely notice. Who says suburbs have to be boring? Overland Park is flipping the script on suburban living. With top-notch schools, more parks than you can shake a frisbee at, and a job market that's hotter than Kansas in July, it's no wonder families are flocking here faster than you can say, there's no place like home. 7. Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville's job market is growing faster than Florida's alligator population. They've got miles of beaches without the LA traffic. And state income tax. What's that? In Jacksonville, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs about $100. Utilities run around $160, blame the AC, and a meal out is about $15. Not bad for a city where you can hit the beach on your lunch break. The average salary in Jacksonville is $62,000 a year. Florida's minimum wage is $13 an hour in 2025. And here's the kicker. Florida has no state income tax. There is, however, a 6% state sales tax, and Jacksonville adds another 1% to that. But hey, you've got to fund those beautiful beaches somehow, right? Jacksonville is proof that you can have your beach and afford it too. With a booming job market in finance and healthcare, you can work on your tan and your 401k at the same time. And let's not forget, no state income tax means more money for sunscreen and surfboards. 6. Bozeman, Montana. Bozeman is seeing more remote workers arrive each day than elk during migration season. They've got enough outdoor activities to make Bear Grylls jealous. And work-life balance? It actually exists here. Now, Bozeman isn't cheap, but it's still a bargain compared to many tech hubs. A one-bedroom in the city center will run you about $100 to $400. Utilities are about $150, and a meal out is around $16. But can you really put a price on waking up to mountain views every day? The average salary in Bozeman is a hefty $75,000 a year. Montana's minimum wage is $11 to $50 an hour as of 2025. Montana has a graduated income tax rate from 1% to 6.75%. And while there's no sales tax at the state level, Bozeman does have a 3% local option tax on certain luxury items and services. Bozeman is where tech bros and cowboys coexist in perfect harmony. With stunning mountain views and enough outdoor activities to last a lifetime, it's no wonder remote workers are trading in their city apartments for wide open spaces. Just be prepared for housing costs that are climbing faster than the nearby Rockies. 5. Columbus, Ohio. Columbus has an economy more diverse than a college brochure. The cost of living won't make you cry when you check your bank account. And the culture? It's hipper than you'd expect and more welcoming than your grandma's house. In Columbus, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs about $1,000. Utilities run around $130, and a meal out is about $14. It's like the city is saying, come on in, the living's easy. The average salary in Columbus is $63,000 a year. Ohio's minimum wage is $11 an hour in 2025. Ohio has a graduated income tax rate from 0% to 4.727%, and there's a state sales tax of 5.75%. Columbus adds another 0.75% to that. But with these prices, you'll still have plenty left over for Buckeye gear. Columbus is the city that makes you say, Ohio. Oh, wow. With a job market that's more robust than a Midwestern winter and a cost of living that won't force you to subsist on ramen, it's attracting everyone from tech startups to artists. It's where Midwestern nice meets big city opportunities. 4. Austin, Texas. Austin's tech scene is hotter than a Texas summer. The tax situation is as non-existent as winter in the Lone Star State, and the music and food scene might make you forget about the traffic. Living in Austin isn't cheap, but it's still a bargain compared to Silicon Valley. A one-bedroom in the city center will set you back about $1,500. Utilities run around $150, and a meal out is about $17. But can you really put a price on year-round breakfast tacos? The average salary in Austin is the impressive $80,000 a year. Texas doesn't have a state-mandated minimum wage, so it defaults to the federal minimum of $8.50 an hour in 2025. But here's the real draw. Texas has no state income tax. There is a state sales tax of 6.25%, and Austin adds another 2% to that. But with no income tax, you'll have plenty left over for concert tickets and queso. Austin continues to be the poster child for cool cities, attracting more tech companies than SXSW has bands. Yes, it's getting crowded, and yes, the secret's been out for a while. But with no state income tax and enough live music to fill a decade of playlists, people just can't stay away. Just be prepared to sit in traffic while you debate whether to get tacos or BBQ for dinner. Hint, the answer is both. 3. Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester's tech and manufacturing sectors are growing faster than you can say wicked smart. The taxes are as low as New England temperatures in January. And seasons? You get all 4 of them, in their full glory. In Manchester, a one-bedroom apartment in the city centre costs about $1,300. Utilities run around $140, and a meal out is about $15. It's not the cheapest city on our list, but remember, no sales tax. The average salary in Manchester is $70,000 a year. New Hampshire's minimum wage defaults to the federal minimum of $8.50 an hour in 2025. Now, here's where Manchester really shines. New Hampshire has no state income tax and no sales tax. There is a 5% tax on dividends and interest, but for most folks, that's a small price to pay for tax-free shopping. Manchester is the New England Renaissance you didn't see coming, with a growing tech scene, no state income or sales tax, take that Massachusetts, and enough outdoor activities to fill a LL Bean catalog. It's attracting both young professionals and families. Plus, you're close enough to Boston to catch a Red Sox game, but far enough away to afford more than a closet to live in. 2. Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh's Research Triangle Park is where brains meet opportunity. Healthcare and education jobs are more plentiful than Carolina BBQ joints. And Southern hospitality? It's alive and well, bless your heart. In Raleigh, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center will cost you about $100 to $200. Utilities run around $130, and a meal out is about $15. It's like Southern hospitality extends to the cost of living too. The average salary in Raleigh is a comfortable $72,000 a year. North Carolina's minimum wage is $10.50 an hour as of 2025. The state has a flat income tax rate of 5.25% and a state sales tax of 4.75%. Wake County, where Raleigh is located, adds another 2.25% to that. But with these salaries and living costs, you'll still have plenty left over for Cheerwine and Carolina basketball tickets. Raleigh is proof that you can have your sweet tea and drink it too. With a booming job market in tech, education, and healthcare, it's attracting more PhDs than a university job fair. Combine that with a moderate climate, affordable living, and enough southern charm to fill a front porch, and you've got a recipe for growth that's harder to resist than grandma's pecan pie. 1. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa's growth factors are more shocking than finding out Oklahoma has a coastline. It doesn't, we checked. The urban planning is smarter than a 5th grader with a calculator. And the quality of life is high enough to make you forget you're in Oklahoma. Kidding, Oklahomans. In Tulsa, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center will only set you back about $800. Utilities run around $120, and a meal out is about $12. It's like the cost of living is stuck in the 90s, and we're not complaining. The average salary in Tulsa is $60,000 a year. Oklahoma's minimum wage is $9.50 an hour as of 2025. The state has a graduated income tax rate from 0.25% to 4.75% and a state sales tax of 4.5%. Tulsa County adds another 0.367% to that, and the city of Tulsa tax on an additional 3.65%. But with these living costs, you'll hardly notice. Plot twist. Tulsa has reinvented itself faster than a pop star changes outfits. With innovative programs like Tulsa Remote, which pays remote workers to relocate, and major investments in parks and cultural institutions, Tulsa is the dark horse that's taking the lead. It's proof that with the right mix of affordability, opportunity, and creativity, Any city can become a magnet for new residents. Just watch out for tornadoes. We kid, mostly. So, what can we learn from our top 10? Here are the key trends. 1. Mid-sized cities are the new black. They're big enough to have great restaurants, but small enough that you don't need a GPS to get around. 2. Work-life balance is king. Cities with easy access to outdoor activities are seeing more growth than you can shake a hiking stick at. 3. Tech isn't just for the coasts anymore. Silicon Valley has gone national, and it's wearing cowboy boots. 4. Affordability matters, but so do amenities. People want to buy a house and have money left over for avocado toast. Thinking of making a move? Here's what you need to know. 1. The early bird gets the affordable worm. As these cities grow, so do their housing prices. 2. Remote work is your friend. If your job can be done from anywhere, the world, or at least America, is your oyster. 3. Think long-term. These cities aren't just popular now, they're investing in their futures. There you have it, folks. The top 10 cities Americans are flocking to in 2025. From tech hubs in unexpected places to southern cities with a modern twist, the map of desirable living is being redrawn as we speak. Remember, the best city for you is the one that feels like home, whether that's a bustling tech hub or a quiet mountain town. So, whether you're planning a move or just daydreaming about new horizons, keep these cities on your radar. Who knows? Your next home might be on this list. But here's the thing, these cities aren't just random dots on a map. They're communities that are evolving, growing, and reimagining what it means to be a great place to live in 2025. They're balancing job opportunities with quality of life, affordability with amenities, and growth with sustainability. Take Tulsa, for example. Who would have thought that this Oklahoma city would top our list? But with its innovative approach to attracting remote workers and its investments in cultural institutions, Tulsa is showing us that any city can reinvent itself with the right vision and effort. Or look at Boise and Austin. These cities are proving that you don't need to be in Silicon Valley to be a tech powerhouse. They're creating their own unique tech cultures, blending innovation with a more relaxed lifestyle that's attracting talent from across the country. And let's not forget about cities like Greenville and Manchester. They're showing us that there's still plenty of life in manufacturing towns, especially when they diversify their economies and invest in their downtowns. The takeaway? America's urban landscape is changing, and it's creating opportunities in places we might not have considered before. Whether you're looking for a fresh start, a better work-life balance, or just a change of scenery, these cities offer a glimpse into what the future of American living might look like. So, as you ponder your next move, or just enjoy a bit of armchair travel, remember that the perfect city for you might not be the one you expected. Keep an open mind, do your research, and who knows? You might find yourself calling one of these cities home sooner than you think. And hey, if you do end up moving to one of these cities, drop us a line in the comments. We'd love to hear about your experience. Did the city live up to the hype? Did you find that perfect balance of opportunity and lifestyle? Or did you discover some hidden gem that we missed? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos on America's changing urban landscape. And hey, if you're watching this from your new home in Tulsa, Boise, or any of our top 10 cities, give us a shout out. Let us know how you're liking your new digs. Until then, happy moving, happy exploring, and may your new home be everything you hoped for and more. This is Voyage Questers signing off from the ever-changing map of America. Keep dreaming big and living well wherever you choose to call home.